Greetings, fellow test subjects. Test subject 1337 here for Aperture Gaming. They make it. We test it. You play it. And welcome to our review of Star Wars Jedi, The Fallen Order. This is a handbook, so yeah. I rented the game from Redbox, so how does this game play? Well, you're about to find out. Series. Well, I wouldn't say it's... Okay, so it's part of the Star Wars universe. And while I don't think it's like part of the Jedi Knights saga, so I think it's like its own standalone entry in the Star Wars universe. Team. The people behind this game, it's obviously LucasArts, but it's EA Games and Respawn Entertainment. The people behind the Titanfall games. Plot. This game takes place about 5 years after Directive Protocol 66 was initiated at the end of Episode 3. You play as Cal. You are a Jedi who has gone into hiding after the directive was activated, but now you must come back out of hiding to once again fight the forces of evil and to help restore the Jedi Order. Gameplay controls. The gameplay controls, it's kind of like, alright, so it's like, imagine The Force Unleashed mixed in with the Uncharted series. You use your lightsaber to deflect stuff, to slice stuff. You don't have the lightning, but you do control the Force in certain ways, shapes, and forms. You go around, you use the Force, you use the lightsaber, and there are some areas where you can climb and platform, and other areas you can't. You find collectibles. You can change what outfit you're wearing, the color of your droid, the color of your ship, and you can even customize your lightsaber. As you go around from worlds, you find like meditation areas where, as you beat up enemies, you can get experience points to level up whether you have stronger force power, more health, the ability to do more cool stuff. And they've made an interesting thing where every time if you use a save pad, a meditation area, you can use it just to learn new stuff and to have that be a save point for if you need to respawn. But if you build up your health that is low and get more health packs, then all the enemies you defeated prior to that spot, everyone respawns. So it's an interesting game mechanic. Yeah, so the game is basically balanced between platform climbing, Uncharted, and using the Force and lightsaber. Graphics. Alright, the graphics for the game are really good. It looks... yeah, everything looks great, all the characters look interesting. Seeing all the people and all the aliens and the planets and life forms. Very good. One cool thing about the visuals was they were showing some of the posters, and it shows the Star Wars language, and then like it shows you have an area where you can look at the documents, and it translates what each of the words are, and in like the save meditation areas. So it's pretty cool when you kind of have a translation to see what each symbol means. So yeah, that's awesome. Audio. The audio is really great also. Everything looks and sounds like a Star Wars film. The soundtrack is good. The sound effects of the lightsaber, the blasters, stormtroopers, this is definitely a fully licensed game. They hit all the right notes and all the right marks. Multiplayer. There is no multiplayer. DLC. Now if you buy like the standard edition or if you just rent the game, here's what, on the PlayStation Store I could get like the Deluxe Special Edition download. Like it adds some skins for some of the character stuff, and it like has a behind-the-scenes video like explaining how the game was made and stuff. So there is that DLC, but nothing like credits to help you buy stuff or levels or yeah. So it's kind of a semi-DLC of sorts. Issues. All right, so here's what. There's some issues with there's some visual issues. Like when I was doing some of his clothes changing options, I could see his undershirt bleeding through the overshirt that he had on. And during when I was on a train, I fell off the train like in between some of the cracks, and while I'm on the underside, I'm standing basically on nothing, basically on air. I had to move around a bit to fall off for that to count as the respawn death reset thing. Yeah, and I saw a wall, there was like a poster on it, it was like kind of flickering in and out of being on top of the wall and being inside the wall and then not being there. So there's some small graphic issues, but no game breakers. But there are some other issues. Like, for starters, if you're going to do a Star Wars game, especially one with Jedi or Sith and lightsabers, seriously, you have a weapon, you have this thing that has been designed to pretty much cut through everything. like 99% of everything in the universe. So you better have a really good explanation as to why a lightsaber is not able to cut through some certain creatures that are made of flesh and bone and blood. It's like, okay, how the heck does that happen? Oh boy. Yeah, so there's kind of that issue. It's like, next, speaking of enemies, sometimes you'll encounter an enemy and then it'll be tough, you have to fight it. And then if you're lucky enough to beat the thing, then you can have your droid scan it and you get information on what the thing's name is, what powers and uses it has, and how it specifically attacks. So that'd be like, oh, that would have been nice to have known a little bit beforehand. I mean, great now if I re-encounter this thing, I know what to do, but the first time you encounter it, that's a real pain in the neck. And speaking of pain in the neck, the experience point system. Let's say you have the save point, then you fight enemy A and enemy B. And then here comes enemy C, and enemy C defeats you. You lose all your experience points that you've been building up to. Like, let's say enemy A gave you 98 and enemy B gave you 99. And you need one more experience point to level up. Well, then here's what. If you go back after you die, you respawn at the save point. You have to specifically hurt that, you have to actually inflict damage onto the enemy that defeated you to regain all of your experience points. And if the enemy is tough, that's going to be a problem. And also, let's say you're on the way there, and you're defeated by enemy B, or worse, enemy A, then yeah, so then it'll give you back the experience points with that enemy, but if you haven't built up too much, then you're kind of in trouble. At least I think that's how it worked, because, I don't know, like I was defeated by one enemy, and then I was defeated by the other one, so like there were two of them in the same location, but it's like a monumental, real insult to the players right there. Buy, rent, or pass. For me, so like I said, I rented this game, but overall I'd say this is a solid buy. It is very interesting, very good Star Wars story. I'm a fan of the Star Wars franchise, and I like it. It got a little difficult in some spots, but that's the thing. There's like 4 levels of difficulty: easy, medium, hard, and expert. I kind of played on the hard because, like, it shows like reaction time of enemies, experience points, and force use. Like, I wanted something a little more balanced. So like the first 2, they were kind of favorable, but the third one, it seemed like a split right down the middle. So I'd say this is a definitive buy. Overall score. Overall, I like the game. There are some issues. I like how you can adjust the difficulty if and when needed. And I'm pretty sure some of the visual stuff can be fixed with patch updates. But still, I'm not a fan of the whole enemy system information thing and the experience points thing, so you have to be very careful how you play. It's kind of a melee-based game. And again, lightsaber, so go figure. I give Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order a solid 9 out of 10. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this has been Test Subject 1337 for Aperture Gaming, saying thank you very much, and as always, game on.